In the headline, PM awaits police probe as Frederick takes leave and a survivor breaks 5 years of silence.
Mr. Banks! Save.
Different dish, another money problem to solve. I'm on my way.
Oh, you're here. My boyfriend and I broke up, and I needed a little retail therapy as emotional support.
Honey, retail therapy is not the kind you need right now. Trust me. Alan and I broke up and these red bottoms will make me feel so much better. Isn't that what you wrote?
Don't judge.
No, I'm not judging. I'm just wondering why your BOSL Visa credit card has to suffer in the process as well.
So what do I do?
Well, I'm no Dr. Phil, but I do know that your BOSL credit card is better. Use it every time, anywhere. You know, groceries, bills, fuel, lunch, and not every time your phone whispers, sale.
Okay, so no more impulse buying.
Correct. And you have up to 30 days interest-free. Then clear it and even earn Visa rewards.
So I can still shop for the things I like?
Oh boy. Yes, but don't shop like you're in a race to be shopaholic of the year, okay?
Okay. Dear Diary, today I paused, used my BOSL Visa credit card the smart way, and even earned rewards.
Another money problem solved. I love this job.
When smart banking advice is needed, Mr. Banks answers the call. Mr. Banks!
Ready to sing it out? Every other Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Ready to the ultimate blast karaoke night. Shower singer or stage legend. If you've got a voice, the mic is yours. And the vibes stay high. From old school classics to today's biggest hits. Step up, sing loud, sip on drink specials, enjoy beats, and win big with Bingo. Blast Entertainment Center, corner of Chisel and Brazil Street. Upstairs, the new Starlight Building. So warm up those vocals, grab the mic. Blast Karaoke Night. Big notes, bigger wins.
Your friends, bring your voice and join the fun of Blast Karaoke Night on Wednesday, 29 July 2026.
Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Midday News Edition. Whether you are tuned in on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, Hot FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page, or our YouTube channel, Caribbean Hot 7 TV. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna, thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has addressed the ongoing investigation involving Cabinet Minister Richard Frederick, saying he will withhold further comment until police complete their inquiries. Frederick has proceeded on vacation, with his ministerial duties reassigned to other ministers, as calls for his removal continue from the United Workers' Party amid public discussion surrounding the matter.
For several weeks, allegations and rumors involving Cabinet Minister Richard Frederick have circulated widely on social media. Frederick, who was previously detained by police for questioning, has now officially proceeded on vacation after the Office of the Prime Minister confirmed in a press release that he is expected to return on Thursday, August 27th, 2026. During his absence, his ministerial responsibilities have been reassigned to other members of the cabinet. The announcement comes as the United Workers' Party continues to call for his removal from office, seeing protests in several communities and submitting a letter to the Prime Minister expressing concerns over the allegations surrounding the minister. Speaking at Monday's press briefing, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierce said he would not make any public comment on the matter until the police investigation has been completed.
I'm making no statement on the Richard Fredericks issue because the police are continuing their investigations, and I'm making absolutely no statement on it at this point in time. I'm awaiting the police investigation. When the police have investigated, when the police have come to a conclusion, the Prime Minister will take a decision on the future of Minister Richard Fredericks in the Cabinet of St. Lucia. But right now, I'm making no statement. And no amount of slander, no amount of talk shows, no amount of memes, no amount of Facebook posting will make me make any statement in the public on Richard Fredericks until the police have completed the investigation.
He further stated the minister's absence would not affect the public or the operations of government. The Prime Minister said that he would not take any judgment on the matter until the investigation is complete, after which the necessary decisions will be made based on the outcome.
There's a minister in local government and there's a minister in housing. So the people's business continues. I am awaiting the end or the conclusion of the police investigation. This is the first order of business. When I get the police investigation, what will happen will have to happen. But I'm not rushing to judgment because there's a police investigation. There's a police investigation. And I'm not interfering in the police investigation.
Pierre also referred to a similar case from which in his time in opposition involving a senator. He said the circumstances were comparable to those surrounding the situation. Pierre maintained that based on the legal advice and records available to him, action could only be taken once an individual had been formally charged with an offense.
You may tell me, and I know that is the half-truth that has been peddled. In the case of the Senate, I took action. If you on the record, you will see that I said, when the senator gets charged, C-H-A-R-G-E-D, when he is charged, so the hypocrites that talk about Sandy Felix, I took action against him. When he's charged, that's what I said. The day he was arrested, I said nothing. Remember that. Let the history prove it. Let the history prove it. I said when he was charged, I would take action. As soon as he was charged, I dismissed him. That's what I said. In terms of this event, in terms of that event. Because it was more than it wasn't a minor situation. A minor situation. Two different situations. Right now, this one has been turned into a major situation. So, I will allow the police investigation to continue.
For now, the Prime Minister is leaving the matter in the hands of the police. For 7 TV News, Josiah Bisset reporting.
A reported assault involving a woman while she was participating in the Carnival Parade of the Bands has sparked public concern and raised fresh questions about safety during major events. The incident has drawn responses from the Minister of Tourism and the band involved, as organizers face growing calls to strengthen protections for participants.
A Jamaican woman was allegedly assaulted while participating in a Carnival Band parade on Monday, July 20th, leaving her with injuries to her mouth and cheek. The incident gained major attention online, sparking public concern and renewed discussions about safety measures at events. This situation comes as St. Lucia remains under a U.S. Level 2 travel advisory, which includes crime among the concerns highlighted for visitors. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information, Ernest Hilaire, has since responded to the incident, addressing the government's position on the matter.
I think as a society, we have to have an absolute zero tolerance of violence towards each other, period. And particularly women. Particularly from the perspective that Carnival is a time when people are expressive, both they dance, the way they dress, and women become easy targets. And men just have to understand, and also some women too, that we just don't tolerate that. You have to respect somebody. You're on the road, you somebody dancing, you go and dance by somebody, they tell you to back off, you back off. You have no right to touch nobody. You have no right to invade the privacy of anybody. That's a no-no, period.
The alleged assault triggered widespread public reaction, with many questioning the level of security provided and whether enough was done to protect participants during the incident. The carnival band involved has confirmed that the woman was injured, condemned violence, and said she and her friend were given full refunds while the matter is shared with the relevant authorities. The band's head of security provided a separate account, stating that officers responded to an altercation involving one male and two female revelers. Security personnel alleges that those involved were separated to prevent the situation from escalating. However, the woman's account has raised further questions about the speed and effectiveness of the response while the incident was unfolding. Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire described the matter as unfortunate, particularly as St. Lucia continues efforts to maintain its image as a safe destination for both visitors and residents.
But when it gets out of hand, the police has to deal with that, or the security in the band has to deal with that. The planning committee cannot, they're not involved in every version of every band and every street corner. They're not. I mean, they are the executive producers of the parade. So we need to be clear. But as a society, we need to reject violence against other persons. And we have to ensure that there's certainly no violence against women, because people see women as vulnerable or whatnot. And we must make that very clear. That should never be tolerated.
At the time of this report, no independent account from the police had been provided on the circumstances surrounding the altercation. I'm Christabel Obi reporting for Hot 7 TV News.
Health Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste says more updates on St. Lucia's major hospital projects are expected as work continues across the healthcare sector. Following the commissioning of the new St. Hospital, the minister said additional departments are nearing completion as the facility continues its phased transition into full operation.
Health Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste said updates on St. Lucia's two major hospitals were forthcoming as progress continued on key healthcare projects. Following the commissioning of the new St. Jude's Hospital, the minister noted that work was still ongoing, with the next department nearing completion as the facility continued its phased transition.
I'm pleased to report to you that another department, dialysis services, will be commissioned tomorrow at the new hospital site at Oji. Thanks to the commissioning team, the hospital staff, and all who continue to assist with this process. A number of hospital workers gave up their weekend to ensure that this process came to fruition. I want to thank them. I want to thank all of the professionals who spent their weekend at the St. Jude Hospital site at Oji.
He further noted that the full commissioning of the hospital was expected by the end of July. He acknowledged the importance of the facility and said staff were working diligently to complete the process.
We did indicate that we were looking at a window of by the end of July, and the processes which would lead to the full commissioning of the hospital required us to have a more detailed examination of some of the areas. In fact, the commissioning team is, as I said before, spending time with the professionals to ensure that the critical building services, the HVAC services, the medical gas services, the equipment and safe use controls, ICT, lab digital systems, and the radiology safety pathways are all proper and safe before we do the full commissioning.
The minister said that the OK hospital would continue to receive government support, noting that assistance to the facility had increased since the administration took office. He added that further support would be provided in the future.
There have been a number of investments gone into the OKE hospital. I have expressed before, both at press conferences and at the Parliament, that the government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Finance, has increased the financial subvention to the OKE hospital, to the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, because the OKE hospital is just one part of the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. From 2021, from a budget of $31.8 million thereabout, up to the last budget, we're looking at $77 million, and that subvention keeps increasing.
The minister said that both hospitals were receiving the necessary attention. He added that commissioning team at St. Jude Hospital would need an additional 2 or 3 weeks to ensure all systems were fully operational before the facility moved forward. For Hot 7 TV News, Josiah Bisset reporting.
This is the Hot 7 TV Midday News Edition. There is more after the break.
Looking for the best way to advertise? Stop searching. Hot 7 TV gives you more reach, more impact, and more value. Get your business in front of the right audience and watch your sales soar. Don't miss out. Call 452-6040 today and take advantage of our exclusive advertising packages. Hot 7 TV, smart advertising for smart businesses.
Welcome back. A St. Lucian woman is demanding justice after alleging she was sexually assaulted by an on-duty police officer who entered her home during a welfare check in October 2021. Nearly 5 years later, she says the court matter was dismissed, leaving her with trauma, unanswered questions, and no sense of justice.
Help on October 6, 2021 brought 3 police officers, 2 males and 1 female, to a woman's residence after an unsuccessful attempt to take her own life. She says one of those officers later returned alone. The complainant, whose identity is being withheld, says she allowed the high-ranking officer inside because she believed he had returned to check on her condition. She says she had taken medication with alcohol and was drowsy, but remained aware of what was happening. According to her account, the officer sat beside her, checked her condition, and then turned off the light. She alleges he began raping her.
I'm believing this man came to assist me. All along, this man had other intentions. I'm hearing him opening a bag, something that sounded like a nylon bag. He stood up and he turned off the light. Right? Right there and there, I knew something was wrong, something was up. I'm in panic mode because I do not know what he is going to do. And knowing that he's an officer, I do not know, and I do not want to struggle or cause anything to make him hurt me. He went on to put apparently he had a condom in the bag. He wore a condom, and then he started to, it's like I'm pissed and I'm angry. He insulted everything. He insulted his penis, started to have sex with me. I shoved him up, I told him stop. He continued. I shoved him up again and he stopped.
The complainant says she told her cousin the next morning and was taken to a hospital for a rape kit, and later spent 8 days in a mental health facility following a suicide attempt. She says she gave a police statement and identified the accused during an identification procedure. She alleges that the high-ranking officer began stalking her social media pages and leaving comments. Those details have not been independently confirmed by police. She says the case remained unsolved for nearly 5 years, and she migrated in 2023, citing the assault, ongoing fear, and lack of progress in the case as reasons for leaving St. Lucia.
After the 8 days I was released, I posted a picture on WhatsApp, and that same officer, he commented under the picture saying, "Give me that girl," knowing what he had already done. Then he still went on to send Facebook requests for me. He was still stalking me on Instagram and everything. I never responded. I never accepted the friend request. I migrated in 2023. I migrated to another place because I was not feeling safe.
According to the woman, the high-ranking officer was arrested and released on bail. The complainant says she was contacted on July 3rd, 2026 and told the matter was proceeding to court. She alleges a request to participate virtually was denied, forcing her to travel to St. Lucia on short notice. She says she gave evidence but later learned that the matter had been dismissed. The official reason for that outcome has not been confirmed. She also alleges that comments made during the proceedings caused her to question if she had been treated fairly.
The lawyer called me the Friday. Apparently, I was represented by one of the state lawyers. He called me the Friday, tried to get me prepared, and told me that the court case will be the following Monday. So I told him I am not sure. I can only do this virtually. So he sent in a virtual request to the judge or whoever he was supposed to send it to. And he told me find the nearest police station where I can go to, so I could be safe and everything could be legal. When it was my turn, the judge asked, "Where am I?" So the lawyer is saying he sent in an application to request that it's done virtually. She said how she knows nothing about that. And she went on to say, "I know that woman is not in St. Lucia. I know that woman is not St. Island. Why would you address a victim as that woman? You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You're a professional. You don't address anybody in that manner." So right there and there, I sense some biasness.
The complainant says she wants accountability, not only for herself, but for other people who may be afraid to report allegations involving persons in authority. The woman says nearly 5 years have passed, but the trauma remains. She says the alleged assault changed the course of her life, contributed to her decision to migrate, and left her still waiting for answers from the institutions she expected to protect her.
It causes a trauma, especially for somebody who's been through depression. Any little thing relating to that area could trigger the person. Like as mental health is a serious thing, and a lot of people are going through it silently.
Nearly 5 years after she says her life changed forever, this woman says she's still searching for the one thing she believes has been missing: justice. She hopes that by sharing her story, other survivors will find the courage to speak, and that the institutions responsible for protecting the public will be held to the same standard of they are sworn to uphold. I'm Christabel Obi reporting for Hot 7 TV News.
Residents of Boss Issue are calling for urgent action as repeated crashes, speeding motorists, and damage to properties raise serious safety concerns along the roadway. Authorities say they are reviewing traffic calming measures while reminding drivers that the area is a residential route and not a highway.
After a series of accidents in the area, residents of Bossaju are pleading with authorities to take action before someone loses their life. They say many drivers speed through the neighborhood as if they are on a highway, repeatedly crashing into a resident's fence and even damaging the fence surrounding the Wasco treatment plant. Residents are also worried about pedestrian safety, claiming motorists often race past without slowing down, forcing people to jump out of the way to avoid being hit. They fear it is only a matter of time before a serious tragedy occurs if steps are not taken to reduce speeding in the area.
The accidents have been very frequent here now, and it has become a big burden to the residents of Bossaju. As a matter of fact, this is a very populous area, and people are not driving, they are racing on that road now, So I think the time has come that the authorities do the necessary road management to control and try to prevent the accidents that we have in it. Thank God that we have not had anybody being hurt in those accidents. When I say people, particularly pedestrians, have not been hurt so far.
Martha Eugene has had her fence destroyed by careless drivers at least 3 separate times, with her neighbor Peter saying that this is unacceptable.
The last accident, as usual, a gentleman went into the fence. I think a vehicle was coming from the promenade. Apparently he did not stop, and the oncoming vehicle towards Grosley, they collided. They reached right into the fence was completely damaged again. I think that's Martha's 3rd time of that accident. Just recently, another gentleman, just last week, a gentleman ran into the Wasco fence again. And I think into the Wasco fence there have been about, I think for the minimum 3 accidents there going into the fence. Yeah. So it's a very, very dangerous road, and we need as much road management to control the racing on that road here.
Jim Joseph, president of the Bosses U Community Group, lamented that the intersection of Bosses U Main Road and Julian Hunt Drive has become a major area of concern for residents and pedestrians who frequently walk or run there for exercise. He pointed to several recent accidents over the past few days, including a vehicle that crashed into the Wasco fence yet again, and another that slammed head-on into a packed container near the stadium. The driver is said to be alive, but the severity of the crash is concerning. Joseph himself nearly became a victim. While recording the aftermath of one accident, he was almost struck by a vehicle speeding down the road. With that in mind, he's calling for speed-reducing measures to be implemented in the area.
Even while I was recording the incident on Saturday, I almost got hit by a vehicle speeding down the road. We believe that although it is not the responsibility of the Ministry of Infrastructure, the blame does not fall on them, but in the absence of persons coming to their senses and understanding the need to drive at the designated speed limit, that we have to put speed-reducing measures in place. Whether it is speed bumps, whether it is proper road markings or signage, but something needs to be done. This area is highly trafficked, both vehicular and persons who use the area for exercise or recreation. We've had 2 fatalities in the past, and we cannot afford to lose another life when we could have done something to save somebody.
Authorities say they are treating the matter with urgency. The Bosses U roadway, which underwent major rehabilitation in 2024 and was officially completed in 2025, is still without clear, visible road markings and essential safety signs. Len Leon, Deputy Chief Engineer at the Ministry of Infrastructure, says officials understand the concerns being raised and are now exploring traffic calming measures that could be introduced to improve safety for both motorists and pedestrians.
And as we stand here, we see the motorists as they pass by, the speed at which they are traveling. So we're taking this very seriously. We are going to be looking at all the traffic calming measures that we can consider to be implemented. It's not cast in stone that is necessarily speed bumps, but certainly we have to address the speed at which the vehicles are traveling. After we have looked at everything, looked at the contract, and looked at what other calming measures we need to do.
The public is being reminded that while the Bosses U roadway serves as an alternative route to the highway, it is still a residential area and not a main highway. Motorists are urged to reduce their speed, remain alert, and drive with caution to ensure the safety of residents and other road users. For Hot 7 News, I'm Chloe Dantes reporting.
St. Lucia's Emancipation celebrations officially begin on Saturday, August 1st, with a series of activities planned across the island. The Cultural Development Foundation, in collaboration with key partners, has organized a range of events centered on heritage, legacy, engagement, and celebration.
The Cultural Development Foundation has officially launched Emancipation Celebration 2026, an evening ceremony at Serenity Park. This year's observance is being held under the theme Understanding Our Past to Create a Pathway for the Future. as St. Lucia reflects on its history and cultural identity. Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation, Ramona Henry Ween, spoke about the importance of carrying forward the resilience, knowledge, and strength passed down from ancestors. The celebrations will continue with activities focused on education, heritage, and reflection throughout the observance.
The question before us is not simply what our ancestors overcame. The question is what we will become because of what they overcame. Will we build a nation where every child knows the value of heritage? Where culture is not seen only as entertainment, but as education, innovation, opportunity, and identity.
Minister for Culture Dr. Ernest Hilaire reflected on the painful history of slavery, highlighting how exploitation has built into systems designed to generate wealth and profit. He also spoke about the importance of preserving these historical lessons and ensuring emancipation observances continue to receive attention and support.
When we speak about creating pathways for the future, it's about that. Let's remember what we've been through in the past. Let us remember that nobody's going to come to save us. Nobody's going to give us a free lunch. They've never done it in the past, and they will not do it in the future. So we now need to reflect on that theme and how each of us individually, like Ramona said, what can we do to create that prosperous future?
Emancipation Day on Saturday, August 1st, 2026 will feature the ringing the bells of freedom, an emancipation lecture, and a tribute to ancestors at Viewfort Square, while a series of cultural activities throughout the month will culminate in celebrations on August 30th. For Hot 7 TV News, Josiah Bisset reporting.
We've come to the end of the Midday News edition for today, Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. Join us again at 6:45 for the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Until then, have a pleasant day.
From your desk to your lunch table, whether you're on the job or taking a well-deserved break, get the top stories and breaking news all in one place. Join us Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. for Hot 7 Midday News, bringing you the latest headlines from St. Lucia and around the region. Stay connected, stay informed, only on Hot 7